the Republicans that keep pretending that Biden is weak on the border, dude, you guys gotta understand, this is the result of U.S. imperialism, right? They are pouring money at the border. Donald Trump couldn't stop it. The deporter in chief couldn't stop it. And no matter what they do, this is a problem that the United States capitalist government is going to solve with violence that can't be solved with violence, right? So they keep making up this fantasy where somehow Jim Crow Joe is weak on the border. He deported more people than Trump. Barack Obama deported more people than Trump in first term. But they still running with the fantasy that Biden weak on immigration. And I made a point yesterday, like when they lie like this, it only helps Biden. Because they're like, oh, Biden got open borders. Biden solved the immigration. And then young base leftists like, yeah, that's base. Meanwhile, this motherfucker is funding ICE in the border industrial complex to record levels, more than Donald Trump. They have fucking border Comic-Con for fascists, where it was like, man, Biden is doing incredible things for our industry. We getting robot dogs. We getting all these fucking high-tech weapons that we wasn't even getting under Donald Trump. Meanwhile, dumbass Republicans are still pretending that he's weak on the border. So this is the tweet you sent me, and this is Jim Crow Joe. This dude been tweeting all this right-wing insane shit, man. Like Bernie Sanders and the progressives that going back with them, they really sold their soul. Because you have to have your head in the sand to like he just like tweeting. I don't know if you know this as well, but he just openly tweeting pro cop shit out all the time, pro FBI shit, pro border shit, right? Because he ready for the elections, he ready to shift to the right, knowing that Bernie and the progressives kowtow to them and kneel to them. So he know he don't have to fight for them. So he already shifted to the right, which shows the dangerous strategy that the boutique left engaged in because they enable this behavior, whether they know it or not. So I'll read the tweet, and my last story of the day, I want to talk about Lula and the trade deal with China. And also, there are a lot of fun stuff to discuss in that story as well. That's our last story, and I'll get you guys out here. But this is the tweet. It said mega House Republican proposals would slash funding for border security, a move that could allow nearly 900 pounds of fentanyl into our country. We need more resources to secure the border, not less. And I am asking you guys, how is that any different than any Trump tweet? Cops fearmonger over fentanyl every year in order to justify higher police budgets. So if you're and this is a question I literally need brainwashed Americans to answer. If we're spending record amount of money on police, we spend more on police than other countries do on the military. The NYPD got a budget that's 3 times higher than the DPRK budget, but they can't stop the fentanyl crisis. So how is giving them more money going to solve this problem that they apparently not solving already? And people are like, oh, well, you're answering it. I don't fucking know, but I'm telling you guys that what you guys doing is an objective failure, and the capitalists know it. You think the people who benefit from it, the police chiefs, the people with their fat pensions and law enforcement, they know they're not failing? They don't give a fuck. They're retiring at 50. Well, they got more, like they are paid, they don't give a fuck, and they use this just to get paid more. But sorry, Andrew, if you want to add anything to this.
No, just real quick, like their job is to deal drugs. Like one of the first things Mexico did to combat mafias and cartels in their country when AMLO and Morena came into office was they abolished the federal police because they're being honest with themselves. Organized crime, major crime survives at the pleasure of the state. Whoever runs the state can basically conduct in harmony with organized crime. It's not like they're actually trying with that money. They're taking that money. They're saying, thank you very much, put it in the bank. And then they go and deal drugs, and out of the locker of drugs they steal from smaller narcotics gangs.